a lot of hullabaloo is being made about these files and the list. Let me be very clear, as somebody who, you know, makes a lot of proclamations. I feel like you make enough of them. Sometimes you're right, but in this case, I never believed, and I don't think you should believe that we're going to get this list that's just going to have like, Bill Clinton on the island with the candlestick. Not going to happen. There might be some more. I want to manage expectations, but I will say that Kash Patel, who's only been in office for a couple of days, maybe even a day or two, right? But more specifically, Pam Bondi, both said day one. And now we're on like day 3 or 4, and they're still not released. I think, Pam Bondi, almost a week, to be correct. It's making me nervous. Like, if you want to restore people's trust in the judicial system and the FBI and the CIA or whatever agencies are involved here, Mossad, all these people, you just have to release it all, and you have to be willing to sacrifice some quote unquote good guys on your side. Then, like, if I see if there's like some inconvenient Republican on there, some inconvenient Democrat, certainly if like Trump was on there, that list would have been released a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Or any major Republican, we would have had it unredacted, years ago. But like, I just think that I'm very concerned how long it's taking. If you're going to release it unredacted, you need about 8 seconds to do that. And now it's been, a week for Pam Bondi. I'm a little,
Well, and she said that thing about it's on my desk. Here, I'm going to pull up this.
Yeah.
This is me rapidly bringing up some stuff on it. So this is from the Times from 2 weeks ago. Jeffrey Epstein client list among files to be classified. And the idea was like, as Anna Paulina Luna leads the task force on it, Kash has talked about it, Pam Bondi has talked about it. It seemed like as soon as they got into office, they were released.
Yeah, it was a foregone conclusion.
Like, but now we have like, this is from yesterday. Marsha Blackburn demands FBI IRS really complete unredacted Epstein flight logs, surveillance footage. I mean, it's not even just the list. There's a lot of stuff that I think they could be releasing that seems to be being held up. I don't know the source that well, but the Express Tribune is saying that an FBI allegedly deleting Epstein records. Whistleblower speaks out.
Not just those
from FBI.
I think everyone saw that interview with Benny Johnson and said, he's definitely talking about Epstein. But the truth is, I think they're just saying they're scrubbing a lot of stuff,
right?
Because Kash Patel's coming in, and what I actually think is more likely to be scrubbed, because I think they scrubbed the Epstein stuff 10 years ago. Is the lawfare against Trump. That's what they're scrubbing. I don't think.
Interesting.
I think a long time ago, and like J6 stuff. I think a long time ago, remember all the stories used to be like, Jeffrey Epstein has 7,000 cameras in his home. He has like keyhole cameras everywhere, and a surveillance system on the island with hundreds of cameras. Like, okay, we know that's true. We saw the pictures of the surveillance system. Where's the footage? Like, you can make the argument like, well, there's literal crimes being committed on the footage, so we can't release this, that, or the other thing. But like, where's any footage? They've released nothing. So either the cameras were not recording anything, bull. We all know that Jeffrey used those cameras to record footage for compromise. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. You could go further. Maybe less people agree with me, but I personally believe, just my belief, YouTube, that Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to continue operations, just like I also believe P. Diddy was allowed to continue in his crimes to obtain compromise on people and footage on people. I 100% believe that. And I believe that there's footage that certain intelligence agencies around the world, by the way, not just in America, have on, say, Prince Edward or or Andrew, sorry, or other people, Saudi nationals or Israeli people or whatever, banging 14-year-olds. I 100% believe that.
Oh.
And I believe that they let somebody like Jeffrey Epstein continue to operate. And once he was in prison, they took his life. Like it's honestly, to me, the most likely scenario. And I think the same thing played out with P. Diddy. There's all these videos, right? Oh, P. Diddy has videos of all these freak offs.
Right.
Show me one.
Exactly.
Show me one.
Yep.
Not a single video released to the public. It's because intelligence agencies, in my opinion, have them all, and will use that footage for compromise. There's a reason that, in my opinion, all those Hollywood celebrities endorsed
Kamala Harris when she needed it.
Didn't Usher literally say, "I'm not endorsing anybody"? A week later, they talk about the Diddy tapes, and then a week after that, he endorses Kamala Harris.
And then people are moving out. These celebrities are moving out of the country and stuff. That's very suspicious indeed. I wonder if, what about information about what happened to McAfee, for example?
Yeah,
is there?
I'll never know. That's a good point. That could be in there. Some people.
I think there's probably a lot of stuff that's in there. What bothers me is I assumed the deleting of files, Epstein related or other, government crime cover up style related. I kind of assumed the day they lost the election, they started scrubbing these things. They started getting rid of them. And so probably a lot of information is already lost. What is bothering me a little bit is that there's a lack of transparency from people like Anna Paulina Luna and Cash Patel and Pam Bondi about what's going on. Why did Pam Bondi say it was sitting on her desk? Was that an expression? Was it oh yeah, I'm going to get right on that? Or did you literally have it, and why are you choosing not to release it? At a certain point,
what is there to review? Let it rip. Put it out there.
There's a level of I want to be okay, I probably don't know something, and they're generally a pretty solid, I think that Trump has done a good job appointing these people, so I want to believe in it. But the more time that goes by, the more it creates its own sub conspiracy, and that's what bothers me.
Well, yeah, if this was ever about restoring trust, they've already started to lose it because they've waited too long. If this doesn't come out today, give me something. Right. I just think that releasing the JFK files, by the way, where are those? The JFK files, the MLK files, if you really were just going to, let it rip and release them, then why aren't they out there? Trump had nothing to do with JFK. We do know that there is something to, the fact that, Trump did kind of play ball in his first term. He didn't exactly go completely bananas. He's done now. There could be a lot of there could be a lot of stuff that they have to redact for legal reasons, but it's tough to say.
Yeah. And again, spirit of transparency, just be hey, we have hit a holdup, but this is still a priority for the administration. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe
something, that wouldn't be better, but at the same time, I just feel some kind of acknowledgement. To be yeah, guys, day one, and then be just kidding. We meant month one or year one. Keep people abreast, because that's more than other administrations did. I mean, so many administrations just, especially when it comes to Epstein, just pretended it wasn't happening. At least acknowledging that there is something going on behind the scenes, that it's still actively a priority. I mean, Anna Paulina Luna tweeted something release the Epstein list, and I think it was Stu Peters responded to it being this is your task force.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, right.
What's going on?
A fair burn, a fair reply.
Yeah,
right. And it makes it start to feel you were oh, you guys figured out that this is something that people, internet people, people who comment on politics online on the internet, or just the public have become aware of and feel really strongly about. So you're using it as a jargon to seem like you fit in, but actually, technically, you guys have the power to do it. And so in some ways, it becomes it hits hollow on the ear. It seems inauthentic. But I don't know. I mean, I actually feel we're not going to get the Epstein list for a while. I hate to be cynical. I don't know if you guys have any timeline guesses.
I'm already past the point of believing that we're going to get a full unredacted list.
Yeah.
It should have been done days ago, a week ago, when What did Pam Bondi have to review? Just let it rip. Oh, it's on my desk. Tweet it out. You find some intern, some hot young thing wearing a sundress and wearing a bun with chopsticks in her hair. Say, go to the scanner, scan this in as a PDF, and upload it. Would have taken 20 minutes. So, like, I mean, I guess there are probably thousands and thousands and thousands. It would have taken a day, let's say.
Right.
So now maybe she's like, well, I got to review this to make sure I'm not personally liable. You know, if there's some, let's say there's pictures of victims in the files that you know, like,
yeah, there could be sensitive stuff.
Yeah, there's probably some level of like, hey, let's make sure we're not getting sued.
Right.
Let's make sure we're not re-victimizing people. You know, let's make sure
just like give an update. Just say like, we're going through and making sure that no sensitive information about, you know, women who have been harmed by these people is leaked publicly for their privacy and protection. You know what I mean? Like, just give an update. Why go radio silent on it? That almost seems worse to me, because then you're following the pattern that corrupt officials have before you.
Well, and it's number one. It's been number one trending on X for the last 2 days. And we know now more than ever, he watches that. And like, he knows. His administration knows, like, hey, bro, we voted for punished Trump. So give us punished Trump. I don't care what the implications are of those files coming out. I don't care if it destroys the Republican Party. I don't. I want to know, was the government involved? I want to know, was there, you know, who are these? I don't give two rips if, you know, if any, I don't care at all who's implicated in these files. If you're a PED, I want justice. I want to know that you were investigated. I want to know that if you were on that island, I assume that you were a PED, by the way. Or at least that you were taking part in some sort of deviant behavior. There were a lot of models there that we know were paid to sleep with the guys. We know that. So like, I'm sure there were men there that were, you know, like, you know, spending nights with the women too. Like, we know this is an irrefutable thing. So, you know, if Bill Clinton really was on the island a dozen times, I think it's safe to say he got his, you know, he dipped.
He wasn't just there getting a tan.
No.
Right.
And so like, if there really is no evidence of it, okay. You know, people are saying that they were adding names after the election. It's possible there would be records of that. You know, I would find it extremely suspect, given they haven't been investigating this man in 10 years. You know, people forget, by the way, his madam is still alive, and she is in prison,
just hanging out. Like,
she's in prison. Like, by the way, she's in prison for trafficking to absolutely nobody.
Right.
Now, one person.
The case ended. They put her in jail, and they were like, but she obviously couldn't remember a name. I mean, I think on some level she is cooperating, or she's doing something.
Of course she is. Yeah.
But like, so then what? Like, are you just waiting for people to forget? Like, what's going on?
What is she in prison for? She committed no crimes, as far as I'm concerned. If you don't have a victim, you don't have a crime.
Right.
If you don't have a customer to traffic to, then you didn't traffic.
Right.
So she just went to jail. And they said, do you see what happened to your husband? That's what happened, in my opinion, YouTube. They said, you see what happened? See how those cameras go break all the time in prison? Thousands of cameras, and the one right outside your cell breaks all the time, Melonie. All the time.
Oh.
It could I mean, we're just saying, you know, that's a nice neck you have there. Sure would suck to, you know, if something happened to it. And then that's why she's in prison. Because she gave no names. But that she must have cooperated in some way.
There's some kind of deal there, because also at a certain point, why wouldn't she just go back to her defense team being like,
why am I in jail?
Well, unless you name someone that I trafficked to, why am I being hit with a trafficking charge? Like kidnapping, coercion, something like a lesser charge. This is super, like, this horrible way to think about it. But like, if you were her defense attorney, why wouldn't you go be like, produce a name, U.S. government?
Right. All right. You know, they don't want to.
Like, unless this is the best, like the charges were worse and this is the best offer that you get, or in your case, like there was some other kind of conflicting threat.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I think to look out for is, with Kash Patel being in this position now, it wouldn't surprise me if like the Democrats are doing everything they can to try to dig up dirt on him right now, so that whenever he does expose something, they can try to divert and be like, oh, look at this, he did that.
Oh, for sure.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. It's right out of their playbook.
I just hope that the agencies start talking more. You know, like I hope that like we get, if it's not Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, somebody to be like, okay, here is an update on what's going on. This is why we've had the delay. Like, just address it head on. I know that probably it opens the door for more questions, or you could be more open for more criticism, but the silence is so ominous to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the pressure is at an all-time high right now. We'll have to see. I think this is bubbling up to Trump, and Trump's hearing it. He's going to be asked about it today, and there's going to be a call made, you know, and Pam Bondi's probably like, hey man, you're not the one they're going to come after. Like, it's, you know, Trump didn't release it. Pam Bondi did.